The diner was bright with the daylight pouring through the large windows, but inside, a shadow followed her every step. Mira's hands trembled each time she set a plate down. To the other customers, she was just a quiet young waitress with a tired smile, but today, fear was sitting on her shoulder. She could feel his eyes again. The same man, the one who started showing up every day, the one who never ordered more than a coffee, the one who waited outside in the parking lot when her shift ended. She could feel the weight of his stare burning between her shoulder blades, even though she never looked directly at him. She knew he was there. And sitting at the far corner booth, polishing his heavy silver rings, was someone no one expected to get involved. A large man with a leather vest that carried a symbol everyone recognized, but no one ever dared approach: the Hells Angels. His real name was Colt Harrow, and stories followed him like the roar of a motorcycle engine. Some said he had a bad past. Some said he was nothing but trouble. Some said he had once been dangerous. But right now, he was simply eating breakfast, quiet, calm, and almost invisible, until she whispered to him, "Before we go any deeper, if you believe in kindness, protection, and second chances, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. Your support helps more inspiring stories reach the world and reminds others that goodness still exists." Mira had been working at Sunny Creek Diner for 6 months. It was a small roadside place off the highway, with the scent of fries and coffee lingering in the air. She had come here to start over, to escape the noise of a toxic life left behind. She rented a tiny room above an older woman's garage and rode her bicycle to work. It wasn't much of a life, but it was quiet, safe, or so she thought. 3 weeks ago the man started showing up. He was always alone, always sitting at the counter, always staring without blinking. His name, she overheard once from another customer, was Ryland Pierce. He didn't talk. He watched, he followed. And though he had never touched her, never spoken to her, Mira felt something dark in him, something cold, something that made her heart tighten each time she saw him step through the door. She had told her manager. Her manager shrugged and said, "He's a paying customer, Mira." She called the police once. They told her unless he made a direct threat, there was nothing they could do. So today Mira felt trapped, a bird pacing the bottom of a cage with bars invisible to everyone but her. Every step she took felt heavier, every breath felt shallow, and then, as she passed Colt's table, her voice left her before she even decided to speak, a whisper, desperate, barely audible. Colt approached him slowly, expression steady, voice low enough Mira couldn't hear, but whatever he said, it sank deep. Ryland's face drained color. He dropped his bike. He ran. He did not come back again, not ever. The riders escorted Mira home that evening. They didn't ask questions. They didn't expect thanks. They were simply there, present like guardians born from the roar of engines and the language of loyalty. But the world talks, and rumors spread. Some said Colt did something terrible. Some said he crossed the line. Some said he was dangerous. But Mira knew a truth no rumor could touch. He didn't protect her because he had to. He protected her because even the toughest souls sometimes carry the softest sense of justice inside them. Weeks later, Colt came by the diner again. It was daytime, sunlight warm, laughter floating lightly between tables. Mira wasn't afraid anymore. She could breathe fully. She placed a glass of water in front of him and said something she had been holding inside. "Why did you help me?" Colt looked out the window, where the road stretched long and open. "Everyone deserves a place where they don't have to look over their shoulder to exist," he said. "The world takes enough from people. Sometimes somebody has to give something back." Mira's eyes stung, not with fear this time, but gratitude. Before the story continues to its ending, if this moment touched your heart even a little, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. Your support reminds the world that compassion still matters. Life didn't transform overnight. Mira still worked. She still paid bills. She still struggled sometimes. But she no longer lived small. She no longer walked with her shoulders tight and her voice silent. She spoke freely, she smiled openly, she felt safe. And Colt? He continued on his road, his life unfolding in places unknown. But every now and then a motorcycle engine echoed through Sunny Creek, and Mira would look up with a quiet warmth in her heart. Not all heroes are polished. Some are leather and grit, some come from roads filled with mistakes and lessons carved deep. Some have pasts they don't speak of but carry forward as warnings. But sometimes those people, the ones the world whispers about, are exactly the ones who show up when no one else does. Before the story ends, leave a comment saying kindness still lives. Let the world see how many believe that. And as the daylight poured through the diner windows once more, the world looked just a little bit softer, a little bit safer, a little bit kinder. Thank you for watching Light of Kindness.